All right, guys, so we are back. So let me load this back up here. And we just got to wrap up this question. So we figured out the molar mass. We have figured out the mass. We just need to go to that third step, which is to the second step, which is to identify the formula. So the formula hasn't changed. I'm trying to solve for moles. You take this transparent thing, which is not supposed to be transparent, but that's fine. Pretend you just cover it. There it is. Let's cover it with that. And you've got mass over molar mass. Okay, so whatever's left is going to give you your formula. Okay, and so then in that step, we want to make sure that we indicate that. So I will write that down quickly. So step 3, the number of moles is equal to mass over the molar mass. And you just substitute in your numbers. So I have 26 grams. And again, keeping those units in my work, being redundant and making sure I'm showing that unit. 162.2 grams per mole. And final answer should get 0.16. Now, some of you might add a 0 there. That's fine. And that was, again, moles. Grams cancel. I'm left with moles. Moles, was I was trying to solve for moles? Yes, I'm trying to figure out moles. Likelihood is that I've done this right. Guys, don't forget step 1. Step 2 is the formula. Step 3 is the substitute. And step 4 would be to write a little sentence about your response, just so it's really clear as a person reading it what your actual answer is, because the bigger these problems get, the more information you get on them. All right, let's move on. This has been at least 10 minutes and you guys are going to start losing interest. All right, so number 3, in the third question, you're going to see this. Okay, and in this case, now it's saying what's the mass. All right, so we need to solve for mass. I don't know. Step 1, write down what you do know though, and that's 36.8 moles, because we have 36.8 moles of magnesium chloride. All right, well, the other variable I must know to solve for mass is the molar mass. Well, let's go back. Remember, if it gives you the name, gotta show the formula. Magnesium, we've seen that one lots. We know it's a 2 positive charge. Chlorine is a negative charge. Therefore, I have to have 2 chlorine for every magnesium. So now we can figure out the molar mass. Magnesium is equal to 1 times its atomic mass. And Cl is equal to 2 times its atomic mass. Guys, we just saw this one in the last question, so we probably remember it's 35.45 grams per mole. Magnesium, though, haven't seen that one yet, so let's just double check. Magnesium is looking like it's 24.31. And that's grams per mole. Guys, throw those into some brackets and add it up. Okay, and ultimately you should get 95.21. All right, 95.21 grams per mole. Step 1, done. All right, number 2. Step 2, we got to show the formula. Well, in this case, we're not solving for moles, we're solving for mass. So there's a couple ways you can do this. Manipulate the base formula on your data table, or take this really not so useful green thing and cover up the variable you're trying to solve for, and that is mass. Well, if you notice, I now have N beside molar mass, so moles beside molar mass. If it's beside it, it means it's multiplied. Okay, so step 2, write out that formula. And so we have mass is equal to N times M. Don't have to try and memorize that. Maybe now would be a good time to throw that on your data booklet. Step 3, substitute. So the mass is equal to the number of moles, which hopefully you guys are like, hey, you forgot to write your units. All right, so it was 36.8 moles. And we're going to multiply that. Sorry, out of room there. We're going to multiply that by my molar mass. And you're going to get an answer. And that response should be a pretty big number, right? We've got some big numbers here. So we're going to have 3,000. And that's going to be 75. Decimal 179. And again, we'll figure out a method for the right number of decimals in the future. Guys, we're solving for mass. If you look, moles and moles, when they're multiplied by each other, they're going to cancel. So you are left with grams. grams is the unit of measurement for mass. Fantastic. Step 4, write that formula, or sorry, that sentence. Now, if you look at the key, which yes, I am providing you guys with a key, and it probably should be on the Google Classroom for you at this point if you want to start checking some of your work, you'll see this one written as this. Okay, I don't want to confuse anyone at this point, but this is called scientific notation. It's a way of showing to the right number of significant digits a larger value. And we'll explain that more when we get into physics, but just if you're wondering where that number came from. All right, guys, there's 4 examples. And with that information, you should be able to do every single example that's on that sheet. Mr. Yaz is going to give you about 15 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes to try 2 practice problems for each major question. So you'll do 2 for number 1, 2 for number 2, and 2 for number 3. If you've already done several of them, keep going until that time limit's up. And then after that point, ultimately, guys, you need to know this stuff. Check your key online on the Google Classroom, and then he'll be moving you into the second part of the class. Have a great day, guys.